Greetings, family, and welcome to another Sankofa Community Church broadcast. Sankofa means reaching back to get the best of our past, to be our best selves now and in the future. We are because of you, and because of you, we are Sankofa Community Church. Sankofa is an Africanized, Ma'at-based spiritual service center open to all. Sankofa is guided by the 7 Ma'at principles: truth, justice, harmony, balance, order, reciprocity, and righteousness. At Sankofa, we worship God by serving people, and we love God by loving people. Please share this broadcast with your friends and family because you will be blessed. And remember, at Sankofa, we are not trying to tell you what to think. We are trying to get you to think. So let's reach black. Black, I said. Let's reach black and get it, family.
Greetings, family, once again to another Sankofa Community Church broadcast. Happy Resurrection Day. Yes, it is Easter, which is a celebrated holiday throughout our community, and I certainly want to pay my respect and certainly be consistent with the theme of resurrection. And I want to add some value to the concept of the resurrection of not only Jesus, but the resurrection of the God in you, because there is no Jesus coming back to save you. You are the Jesus that is going to deliver you. Yes, that is absolutely the case. So let's just begin, as I love to do, with a breathing exercise so that we can just touch and agree vibrationally. When we get in sync, it puts us on one accord. So just pull it in. Wow. One more from the gut. From the guttermost to the uttermost. And now smile it out slowly. Let the exhale be longer than the inhale, and you will bring yourself down to more of an alpha clarity level. I'm just really excited about the opportunity to be with you today, to share with you today. Again, it is just a wonderful time to be alive. Happy Resurrection Day. And again, I want to add some value to the concept. Certainly, I appreciate the opportunity to go dress up. We love making ourselves feel good, dressing up, because when you look good, you feel good. And you vibe good. So that's always good. Any excuse to feel good, to celebrate, to vibrate higher, to reach for a higher, better feeling thought so that you could be more attractive and attracted to your things that make you feel good. Feel good is contagious. Oh, absolutely. Okay. And so the resurrection of the God in you. What you talking about, Dr. Moss? Listen, the only Jesus coming to save you is the anointed one in you. The awareness, the consciousness of the God in us has been buried within us, waiting to be resurrected. What is absolutely required is not a Jesus that's on vacation to come back and save you from what you're going through right now. But in fact, you are the Jesus you have been waiting on. All right, you are the reason for this season. The only Jesus coming to save you is the one buried within you, waiting to be resurrected. Enslavement robbed us of 3 knowledges: the knowledge of God, the knowledge of self, and the knowledge of kind. We were robbed of the knowledge of God and told that God was outside of us and something other than us. We were called, in fact, everything but a child of God. And so that knowledge of God has been lost to us. The knowledge of God and the knowledge of self is one knowledge, because when you look in the mirror, you must see God. We have the God gene. We're made from the same stuff as God. We are chips off the block, come on somebody, of God. You are God having a temporary human experience. That has to be resurrected. They got us reaching out for what we must reach into. You are the atom waiting to be cracked. Your faith is the only faith in yourself that will make you whole. Everybody else will fail you to our faith. We have failed to our faith. We hit the rock bottom and then we are forced to go within, because everything outside of you is designed ultimately to fail you. You were not meant to find God other than within yourself. And if you don't find God within yourself, you will be the victim of everybody and everything that's calling itself God, when in fact you are God having a human experience. Okay? And so the knowledge of God is the awareness that we are all gods having a temporary human experience. The knowledge of God and the knowledge of self is one knowledge, because to know yourself is to put yourself under a microscope. Just like if you want to know the ocean, you don't have to get the whole ocean under the microscope. You can get a drop out the ocean and put it under a microscope, and what's in that drop is what's in that ocean, and what's in that ocean is what's in that drop. You are God, and God is you. God sees through your eyes. God feels with your hands. God cries with your eyes and your tears. You are God having a human experience. You are what you've been looking for. Your ex was meant to disappoint you, and your next going to disappoint you if you put more on them than they are able to do. Nothing and no one is meant to be a replacement for the God in you. And once you find and realize that you are God, you start acting like God, because to know better is to do better. If I tell you, if you're trying to get a door open and you're trying to force it open, if I say, well, you know, all you got to do is turn the handle, well, immediately when you know better, you're going to do better. You're not going to continue to force it. You will then turn the knob, because now you know better. It's a whole lot of folk don't know which knob to turn. It's your knob you got to turn. And once you turn your knob, boom, it's a wrap. Okay? And so the knowledge of God and the knowledge of self is one knowledge. We were robbed of that. To know God is to know self, and to know self is to know God. Right? And then we were robbed of the knowledge of self, and that is to see God when you look in the mirror. When you know your divine self, you see your divine self when you look at yourself. You're not a nigga. You're not a this. You're not a that. You are God having a human experience. All right? Put some respect on yourself. Put some respect on your own divinity, because that's the only one that's going to save you and deliver you from your own decision making. Come on, somebody. And so the knowledge of kind is to know what team we play for and pray for. We must love ourselves, our black selves, before we can love other folk. We got to know we play for each other first, and then we love each other with that, from that place. Okay? Love others as you love yourself. If you don't love yourself, what love are you going to give to somebody else? You can't give what you can't got. And you can't go where you ain't been already, because it's all in a circle. And so we got to love ourselves. We got to reach black and retrieve the knowledge of our divine selves. Only faith in our divinity will make and keep us whole. The pandemic showed us that. Faith in a building, faith in a church, faith in an institution, faith in this, all of that was shattered so that we could find our own faith. Now you know you are the church. You can find and have church wherever you are. Teach Dr. Moss. So we must reach in to God, not out to God. And so we'll fail to our faith. All outside of us will ultimately fail us to our faith. Like the woman with the issue. Everything fails you. But it was meant to, because once you find it within, you're not looking for nothing else from nobody else. You're not looking for shine if you're the sun. Why should the sun be looking for shine when all it's got to do is shine and glow from within? And so you're going to be failed to your divine self. But once you find your divine self, it's all right, because you're not codependent. You're not a victim of nobody else. You're not waiting on nobody to save you. And so everything and everyone will fail you to faith in your own divinity. Absolutely. This is about the resurrection of the God in you. Many of us are frustrated right now. Now look, if you like what you got, roll with it. But if you're looking for something better, if you want to go to another level, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If you want a different result, you have to be willing to do what you ain't never did before. If you want what you ain't never got, you got to be willing to do what you ain't never done. And that is to trust in your divine self. Don't give up. Because it's just a test of faith in yourself. And once you find faith in yourself, you love everybody because you ain't dependent. You know the best way to get along with folk is not need them. Once you stop needing folk, you get along with them wonderful. Because you ain't dependent on them. You take the pressure off the relationship. Come on, somebody. And so we'll fail to our divinity. But don't lose hope, because once you find your divinity, you see, a relationship with God is evidenced by looking and acting like God. Boy, you look just like your dad. Boy, you just act like this, you're like your mom. Girl, you act like your mom. That means you are acting. See, once you know better, you start doing better. Once you know you're divine, you start doing divine things. You can't do divine things if you don't know you are divinity. All right? See, a relationship with God is not something you sign on a dotted line. No. It's evidenced by looking like God. God is your first ancestor. You have a relationship. You born with a relationship. It's like saying, I'm trying to have a relationship with my mother. Maybe you're trying to have communication with your mother. Maybe you're trying to have interaction with your mother. But you're going to always have a relationship. And anybody that looks at you know where you come from. And so it's all about awareness of what's already in existence. Right? You already are born of God. You don't find God. You are God having a human experience. Right? So you're looking for yourself. God is our first ancestor, meaning we are connected to the divine. Right? The divine is not out there. The divine is in here. Right? We are offsprings of the divine. So you are connected. We got the same DNA. We all got the God gene. Come on, somebody say, I got the God gene in me. I got DNA in me. I got divine. That means you can do divine things. You can speak to that mountain and say, be thou removed. You can say, light where there's darkness. You got that kind of shine. You got that kind of juice. Jesus said, greater works shall you do. How you going to do greater works if you ain't got the same juice? All right? You got to have the juice to do the work. You got to have the juice to do the work. In the book of Psalms 82 and 6, it says, and ye are all God's children of the Most High God. And even Jesus said in John 10, and you are, did it not say in your scriptures that you are all God's? Yes, absolutely. Yes. We have God's DNA in me. That means you are of the same stuff as God. If we put you up under a microscope, glory to God, we will see divinity in you that's just like the same divinity that's in the God that you say you love and serve and worship. You are God. See, but now that takes courage to own your godness. See, a lot of us are afraid of our divinity, because that means you not know you got to live up to it.
There's no more excuses when you the light. Light can't make no more dark excuses. Teach Dr. Moss. Light can't make any more dark excuses because it must shine its way through it. If you got to shine, there's no darkness that can cloud you. It may cloud, but it won't stop you from shining. The sun don't stop shining just because you cloud up. The sun don't stop shining because you close your eyes. The sun keeps on shining. It's still shining, and you keep shining. Don't you stop your shine because somebody clouding up on you. Don't stop your shine. Yeah, glory, because somebody is put you in a different category. That's their problem. Okay? Somebody else's opinion is their problem, not yours. All right? And so, a relationship with God is evidenced by acting. Look, and you're already doing it. Haven't you always been able to speak things into existence? You call somebody's name and all of a sudden you see them. All right? Your words already got power. See, favor is not inherited. Favor is a frequency that everybody has access to. You're not some royal family and they're the only ones with favor. And I'm telling you, I am warning, or I am absolutely prophesying to you that we are going to deal with a reconciliation of what is going on over in Palestine, because a people who call themselves favored of God, the children of God, have become like James Bond with a license to kill everybody else who are not as favored. Favor don't put you at the front of the line of nobody else, because that creates envy, and envy is the mother of murder. Any mother who favors one child over another creates envy and hatred amongst her own children. Why would God show favoritism over all his children? Over some of his children, over the others? Any part of your body that shows, that thinks it's favored is a disease that got to be taken out of you. And what these people are doing in the line on God, we're the people of God, so that means we got a right to run them off the land. And, they don't count as much as we do. What kind of God is that? What kind of God justifies one group over another group? No, that's not God. They lying on God. They lying on God, bro. All right? They lying on God. The so-called Jews in Israel and others have misused scriptures to state that they're the only people of God with divine favor. This is how killing Palestinians in Gaza can be justified. This is how somebody thinking they got favor over who? If somebody jumps in front of you and you in the line and say, I got favor over you, you're going to get an attitude. It's going to be a fight. All right? Don't nobody want nobody to be favored over them. Because you know you're just as divine. I'm just as good. I'm just as. And your mama always taught you, no matter how they act, we're just as. We're just as. Okay? And so them people have become like James Bond, thinking they got a license to kill the less favored of God Palestinians. And many of us make the same mistake, seeking favor over somebody. Lord, give me favor. Honey, favor ain't something somebody give you. Favor is a frequency you tune into. Like attracts like. You get what I am, not what I want. You can have $1 million in your bank account, but if you don't have access to it, if you don't have it, if you don't have a code, it'll just be there. And many of us have a divinity that's just there. But thank God allows irritation, agitation to crack the atom and release the divine within us. It hurts at first, like a baby being born. Giving birth to your divinity requires labor pains. It hurts to be in a world that's been turned divine inside out, and we have to be turned divine outside back in. It's the God in you, not the God you find, not the God you're looking for. You are God. You're already connected. You're already in a relationship. You just got to be aware of the connection and line up to it. Act like it. Once you know better, you start doing better. All right? And so, no, you don't want favor over nobody else. Our job is to what? Lift others up, not look down on them going, no better for you. You should have did what I did. What kind of God backs that up? God ain't with that. Our job is not to look down others from our favored position. No, pull them up. Pull them up. Any part of your body that's favored over another part is a disease that would take the whole body to the grave. And that's what these people are doing. Any part of the body that assumes it has favor over the rest of the body is a disease to the whole body. Favor is not a birthright. Favor is a frequency anyone can tune into, beloved. We are all favored by frequency when I am it. Oh, glory to God. Oh my God. Our relationship with God is evidenced by looking like God. What kind of God would approve of killing being done in the name of God in Gaza and other places in the world? No. We are deluded, self-deluded. But God ain't deluded. So I'm telling you right now, glory. It's about resurrection, not of some God that they told you about, but of the reality of God in you. The reality of God in you. All these other gods are failing you. Oh yes, they are. Churches are failing you. Religions are failing. They're meant to fail you because they were not made by God. They were made by man to control you, to keep you a victim of them. But you are not a victim of them. Glory. And so I bless you with love, beloved. It's a wonderful day to be mindful. And that's a great reality. Light can't make any more dark excuses. Isn't that a great word? Why should light make dark excuses when it just don't know it's the light? But when you know you the light, you start shining, man. You realize your reason and purpose for the season is not to complain about it, but to illuminate it. The only people who criticize, curse, and complain about darkness are the folk who don't know they are the light. You are, Jesus said, greater work shall you do. All right? You are the Jesus people are looking for. You are the light. Some folk will never experience other than the light you illuminate them with in the places where you find yourself. So when you find yourself in dark places, don't look for the light. Know that you are the light. You are the difference that makes the difference. So be the difference. Be the clean cup of water. Be the glass next to the rest of the glasses. You ain't got to complain about a glass. Just be the clean glass. Everybody will reach for you. All right? Because when folk know better, they do better. When they see better, they reach for the better. Glory, 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 glory. So resurrect your own understanding that you are God having a human experience. So it's all really about the resurrection of the God in you. There's no Jesus coming back to save you. He said, I came that you might have life and life more abundant. He already came. So if you're waiting on abundant life, that means you're not tuned into the abundant life that was already made available. Just like the smooth jazz already on the station, but you stuck on some country music station and complaining about the country music when that's what you tuned into. Stop listening to Donald Trump and tuning into that station if you don't want to hear that music. That mess can be going on all the time, but I ain't hearing it because I'm tuned into the smooth jazz or the smooth, whatever I want to listen to. You tune into that. Glory, glory, glory. So God bless you today. I appreciate you. I just wanted to come on and share this truth with you, because until you find God in the mirror, you will be a victim of other things and other things. People or institutions calling itself God. You are what you're looking for. So be mindful. All right? It is only your faith that will make you whole. We have failed to our faith. So we go through this 12 step and hit rock bottom. And then once we go, and then you stop depending on people. You stop looking for people to save you. You stop waiting
at a bus stop and you start walking towards your goal. When you realize the bus ain't coming, help me somebody. When you realize ain't no bus coming, bro, you start walking. And before you know it, somebody come along and you know got you a ride. Because if you make one step, hey, glory, somebody say, God, I'm making two. So go ahead and reach within and know that we are all gods having a human experience. And when you resurrect the knowledge of the God in you, you're not waiting on a Jesus on vacation to come back and save you from this underworld generation. No, you are the Jesus. You got the Jesus juice. You and I can do greater works. You can speak to your mountain and say, be thou removed. You can break the generational bad habits in your family, not curses. They're just bad, lack of knowledge choices. When your family knows better, it starts making better choices and breaks that cycle / curse. It's not a curse. Our people perish for one reason and one reason only. Not because somebody cursed them, but because of a lack of knowledge. Nobody can curse you without your permission. And nobody can affect you without you being on that frequency. You'll walk right past it. They can say whatever they want. It'll roll off you like water on a duck's back. You got your vibrational raincoat on. You ain't worried about you bulletproof. Resist the devil. You don't defeat the devil by getting on that same frequency. You resist it and let it flee from you. It'll go on to whoever's tuned into it. Because you only notice what you know. You wouldn't have, if you got a problem with it, you must have a problem with it, or you wouldn't have a problem with it. So watch what you say you got a problem with. Oh man, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm telling you this thing works, but you got to work it in order for it to work. Okay? So realize, ain't no Jesus coming. You are the Jesus. Okay? Only Jesus. You are the anointed and appointed one. Our divinity has been buried within us, waiting to be resurrected. But this is your resurrection day. Hallelujah. Glory be to the God in me. Glory be to the God in we. There is nothing we can, with the God in me and the God in you, there is nothing we can't do with the God in me and the God in you. There ain't nothing that we can't do. I said, the glory be to the God in me. Glory be to the God in we. With the God in me and the God in you. There ain't nothing that we can't do. Ooh, 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 ooh. God bless you. Happy Resurrection Day. I love you. I appreciate you. Man, I tell you, I'm so in love with you. There's nothing you can do about it. All right? So go out here and feel good today. Make yourself feel good. Reach for feel good. Follow your bliss, because your bliss can't miss. Do the most exciting thing that you can always do. Always do what you can do that makes you feel the best, because we have a limited amount of time in this particular manifestation. So make the best of it. God bless you. I love you. Yeah.
And always remember, family, what we do for ourselves depends on what we think of ourselves. And what we think of ourselves depends on what we know about ourselves. And what we know about ourselves depends on what we told about ourselves. So let's reach black and get it.
Music, healing music, music for your soul. Music, I said a healing music to make you whole. Healing music. Healing music, healing music, healing music.